would you be here in one of these quarters, please?
Looks like she could use our help.
Next one's mine. Hold it. Watch the left.
Don't get too comfortable. More are on the way.
Let's see what you got.
Oh, fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? To climb, of course.
You're welcome to my shoulders.
There's a godless artifact just out of reach, and I must have it. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned. Well, I'm not surprised you don't know of the godless. But they were here in the living lands long before we were. Long before anyone else, as far as I can tell. Give or take a few thousand years. They lived on every corner of the lands. You must have passed a few of their ruins on the way here. The big ones, with spires that look more than a little phallic. A lot of their structures were embedded in the ground. They lived in harmony with the land. I mean, as much as you can live in harmony with the land actively trying to kill you. Maybe it was nicer back then. 30 years of research, and as far as I can tell, they just upped and disappeared one day. Fascinating, right? Well, what's important is that the vase is within my grasp, now that I've a tall, dark, and beautiful stranger to help.
If you keep encouraging her, she's going to climb you.
Watch out, Envoy. She seems to have a thing for you.
Careful, darling. I already have a lover. A good one. Skilled with his hands. He always carries a ladder. But, sadly, he's busy helping the Animancers in Fjord. And I need this vase now. That doesn't excuse your lack of a ladder, dearie. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 vases that don't require going into some ancient ruins, but no one listens to me.
Quiet as the depths. Here we go. Nice shot. Bye. You're too late.
Well, that was fun.
Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the face down, but alas. Thankfully you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdut.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. If you say so, darling. But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I have a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, Godlike. Even if you didn't have a ladder.
That's something I hope never happens again.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind. Oh, no, you don't see ya! Another down. Everyone okay? Here it comes. Granted, I don't come here often, but when did it get this bad?
You told
As if
us that
people weren't
Aninon
hungry
seemed to
enough.
save our crops, and now look, spoiled on the vine.
Has anyone figured out how to get rid of it?
One moment.
Yes, I explained all that. They still said no.
Gods, someone has to...
I don't know what to do. I just don't think they're gonna stop.
When did the Rangers start taking the Zarib side?
Hard to believe, but it does seem that way. We have had some of the finest animantic farming equipment available until Zarops came and destroyed it. I spoke to the Rangers about it, but they say the Zarops aren't acting aggressive or killing anyone, so there isn't much they can do.
That's odd. Why would Zarops attack equipment and not just continue the raid?
Exactly.
I tracked them and got as close to their camp as I could. I know they knew I was there, but they just didn't seem to care.
They're up to something, I know it. I just don't know what. Why? There's no point.
I'll let them know if the Zarops are no longer a threat. I get it. There's a lot happening right now.
Not enough, if you ask me.
The Zarops that attacked us have a camp in the swamp to the northwest. If you find some time to help, return to me once you've dealt with them. I'll let the Rangers know the Zarops are no longer a problem, and I'll find some way to make it worth your time.
Almost every Zarop I've ever met has tried to eat me before I could finish eating. You're saying hello. I think if I walked into a Zarop camp and wasn't attacked immediately, I'd wonder if I was invisible or something.
What do I tell Sovia? What do I tell the children? It's not bad enough that their mother a little earlier and you'd have beaten the other bandits to my crops. But I guess that's on you, isn't it? I don't know. Are you? I don't judge on first impressions. I couldn't say. Don't steal and then cry about it when people call you a thief. That's what my grandfather always said. I left the whole pile right here. Enough food, good food, safe food, to get us through the next few months. I went inside just for a moment. The bandits took everything. This was probably her last harvest. There's not a damn thing left to eat. Fjord's Grain Commission offered to open their stores, but I'm not lining up to take it. We can fend for ourselves. At least when we don't have freeloaders coming for everything we've got. Why shouldn't I be? I work hard. I raise my children to be the same way. We don't need the city authorities to decide what's best for us. So I won't count on getting my crops back. I see how it is. Well, if you're following the river, be careful going north. The bandits ran that way. I bet they've got a camp up there. Can't imagine what else they've stolen. They're probably living like kings, while the rest of us starve. Gods, this place isn't what it used to be.
You showed up at a bad time.
The Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwine said you might be heading this way. As am I, in a way. Forgive me. I'm Captain Alfia, captain in the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. Fair enough, envoy. Talk to the man all you'd like. When diplomacy fails, the Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adiran interests. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solus?
Can... What?
No, animizers were such shrewd businessmen.
Jata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops! Look at your city! The Dream Scourge is laying waste to... How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? In that case, you're right on time.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Seems more likely you'll have to punch some sense into him.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
Did you hear that, Ignacy? You should be taking notes.
Ah, of course. The Adiran envoy. Ambassador Hilgard sent a missive telling me to expect you. How delightful. You speak with a measure of authority, but I caution you to remember who's in charge around here.
Now that's what I call a first impression. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms.
There may still be time to reverse the damage.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
As usual, Giatta never misses a chance to slander me. I don't ignore her concerns, only her methods.
And you still do nothing. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Giatta from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. Are you going to tell her about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. Really? Unexpected from an Adiran. But how could I refuse an offer like that? Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giata is an outcast. Then I trust you won't overstay your welcome.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west, by the workshop.
Another mouthful. Maybe we'll need to let Kai hunt more after all.
Come on. My invention is guaranteed.
I had one.
Por you. Except Gia.
We've had begun.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amica.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two. I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone.
I wish I could take credit for Giata's stubbornness, but she learned that on her own.
Thanks, old man. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want. On my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. In a way, I do. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers.
We will set aside our differences for the greater good, won't we, Giata?
Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Indeed. Some of my colleagues would fight me for the opportunity to study you. I only bring it up because Anamancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave Fior Messiverno. Forever.
You may not see it from this vantage, my dear, but you have outgrown these walls. I always knew this day would come, just as I knew how much it would pain you. Please, just leave. That's all I ask.
Quilici, I will make you proud. I promise.
Once again, you missed the point. You have made me proud, Giada.
Thank you. I'm ready. Well, not ready. We have a few loose ends to tie up first. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the Animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Don't worry. Ignacy can't banish us all. Monto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fior. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial envoy, research assistant. Who knew?
Really? Oh. When did that happen?
Founded machine.
The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned about.
This again. You're beginning to sound like Giada.
Have you ever stopped at
I'm sure the one who's talking knows. And look what happened to them.
I have to do something.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. Giada, what a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Oh, I can, but it's a matter of getting all the necessary parts. What I need is a stronger power source. We can't make something out of nothing. We're still limited by our resources. I could use a large single block of Adra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgon queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
If you can convince her to hand it over, I'll be more than impressed.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amiga.
Oh, it's you.
Good. You finally showed up. I was worried you weren't coming. The name's Keeledge. Pleasure to meet you. Hilgard sent me to Emerald Stair to keep an eye on this place. I had orders to make contact as soon as you arrived. I won't talk long. He only wants me to let you know I'm here. If you need to get word to the ambassador, I'm your man. Depends on the day. Hilgard told me to blend in, observe, and contact you. Now, I think I'm just supposed to wait and report back in a few days. I'm worried about drawing attention from Ludwine's crew in the meantime. I think they're up to something. I suppose, but this seems worse than normal. I think the scale of their operation is dangerous. Will do. If it's just the two of us, I don't fancy our odds. Stay safe, Envoy.
Show me what you got! Look left! It.
in a bit.
Try again.
Come and get me!
I can't see it.
Armor isn't helping.
Give me a second.
Watch this.
You're a good friend.
Who's ready for more? Where am I looking? Left leg! Let me catch my breath.
Leave something alone long enough, the living lands take it back. This one's mine.
Watch yourself.
Coming from the right!
Clear now?
Need a minute.
That's it for me!
Trail goes through the ravine and into the glade. Careful where you step. Just wait. Nice work.
Are those roots tearing the bridge apart or holding it together?
Here they come. You're mine now. You sure? See ya. Let's see what you got. It's like nature's shaping these ruins into something. Like a shrine, but for who?
Ah, a welcome visitor. It has been so long since one of your kind has walked in this grove. Strange, as this is your home. A curious thing for Kith to want. Even one as special as you. It belonged to one who tended this grove for longer than I have been here. Our kind has no need for such remembrances. It would cause us no pain to part with it. Take it, and go in peace.
I can't believe you pulled that off. Now, let's get out of here before she notices my wood pistol grip.
Yeah, I pretty much brought that. You ever think, what if I wasn't? Of course. Hello.
For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giada. There's only one way to find out. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
Hands reach through a mirror. They clasp you by the throat.
Hello? You still with me? No, we should stop. This has gone far enough. Let's go over your results. Your soul has a fascinating internal structure. Perfectly balanced. An artist couldn't have made it better. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. That would be closer to Giata's area of expertise. I'm sure she'd love to give you a look. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giata's theory of the dream scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land, diverted, like the flow of a river. And risk joining her in exile? No. Without this workshop, we have nothing. Regardless, essence doesn't just disappear. It must be going somewhere. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giata my fondest regards.
Keep looking.